Okay, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. Thank you, Tom, for letting me know that my microphone was on mute. So let's start over. First of all, thank you very much, everybody, for supporting the Ecolinguist channel, for being channel members or Patreons or Discord moderators, because Discord moderators are also welcome here in the Q&A session. This is the first event of that kind, and I would like to talk to you about how this project is working behind the scenes, like what actually is required for this to continue to work, and also hopefully you're going to have some questions. If not, I have some questions prepared for you. Because I know that not everybody was able to make it to the Q&A session today, and you may want to watch the replay. Yeah, the waiting music did work. I'm glad that the chat is working. So if you have any questions, any pressing issues that you would like to discuss, this is the time to activate your fingers and type it into the chat. But I'm very curious about you, first of all, because I'm trying to figure out what makes you support the channel in the first place. How do you perceive the Ecolinguist channel? What kind of value you think it creates for you or for the community? Because I've been doing all kinds of formats on the channel, and I've created so many videos that sometimes it's very difficult to identify the ones that people really care most about. Hello, Katarina. Nice to see you here. Yeah, so the question for you guys is why are you supporting the channel, and do you think that the videos that I make some sort of impact on you personally, or on the community? What kind of impact? What do you think I could improve? If you could give me feedback, I would appreciate that, because as I just mentioned, it's a bit difficult to see a bigger picture when every day I'm working on one particular project, and I don't really think about the wider perspective all that often, or actually I don't really have a clear picture. So if you have some feedback, I would appreciate that. I mean, by not saying that I don't have a clear picture, I do have a picture, because the thing is that I think that what I started with originally is not what it ended up being. Because my original idea was to focus on creating comprehensible input for people who are learning languages. That was my goal, and I wanted to contribute on that front when it comes to language education, creating content that can encourage people to learn through interacting, through conversation, and coming up with formats that would help people learn languages. But what I'm seeing right now, it seems like my videos and the channel is just taking a different direction. A lot of people just want their languages to be represented online on a bigger platform, and I didn't really didn't consider that before starting. It was not my goal at first, but now I see the value of that. But I didn't realize that it would be this big part of the channel. So those are like two different visions for the channel, as you see, because giving a platform for smaller and minority languages requires a bit different approach than creating a content for language learners. That's something different. And I feel like on my channel there is this constant clash between people, and it's difficult to make out who is actually the core audience. I think you guys, because you're supporting the channel, you are you're seeing something in it, something bigger than just single videos. So I'm very curious about your approach to it. And I think if you could leave a comment, maybe if you're watching a replay, because I know that maybe now me asking you that question is not really the right time, because I should have asked that before you joined the stream, and maybe you could have prepared an answer. But if you if you would like to give me a feedback, just leave a comment under this video. But I would like to talk to you. If you don't have any questions, I would like to talk to you about the process of making those videos and why your support matters so much, because it's basically it has become a full-time job for me. Like most of the time I spend on making videos at this point, which takes a lot of time, because it starts with recruiting the volunteers. Most of the volunteers, they just sign up through the volunteer form that I attach to every video that I publish. And occasionally I also publish posts on community tab, and I'll make a call outs. I make call outs for particular languages, and that worked pretty well, because when I make a call out for a particular language, there's usually a number of people volunteering for that particular language. And after I have a list of people that volunteered, I have to contact them. First of all, I have to go through the language requirements and see if they're a good match for the project that I have in mind. Then I have to talk to them. We have like one-on-one interview kind of thing, where we discuss what the project is going to entail, because not all the people who volunteer actually know all the details about like they don't necessarily know what participating in a project like that entails. They just like the format, they want to take part in a challenge. But it takes much more than that, because after the initial recording, they have to help with captioning of the video, which may take a few weeks before it's completed. And also they need to realize that it's going to be publicly available on the internet, so they have to consider certain privacy issues, like are they really I need to make sure that they have thought through what they're signing up for. And in few cases, not too many, but there were some cases that people after talking to me decided not to proceed and not to be in the video, because they realized that this is a big deal and the video could go viral, and they wouldn't feel good with the thought that they are watched by potentially millions of people. So so that's part of my job as well, to inform people and try to get them informed, try to get their informed consent to participate in the video. After that, we have to schedule the session. Once I matched the volunteers with the people who can not speak the language that they speak, because it's a complicated thing. As you know, the majority of the videos that I publish are centering around mutual intelligibility challenges. And a lot of people who volunteer, they're polyglots. And it's kind of funny. You're probably watching it. You're also speakers of multiple languages. And polyglots, they don't make very good challengers, participants for the challenge, because it's very hard to find a matching challenge for them, a suitable challenge for them. So that's been a challenge. And I was even thinking about how to incorporate formats that would be more suitable for polyglots, since people watching the channel are polyglots. How can I get them involved more? Clearly, mutual intelligibility thing is not always possible for them to take part in, but that's why I came up with this, the non-native speakers show, which is not really that popular yet, but it's just it comes with its own challenges making those videos for the challenges for the non-native speakers. If you have seen them, they come with its own challenges when it comes to production of the videos like that. Toms, you say, I think polyglots do work well with guess the language games. That's a good point. That's a good point, Tom. Guess the language. It's a very, very nice format that I like running, and I made 3 episodes of the Guess the Language show. The problem is getting the language samples, because I'm trying to optimize my work in the way I'm trying to optimize my work, which means I'm trying to use the resources that I already have available, and the volunteers, the viewers of the channel, they tend to speak European languages, because that's just the main demographic of the viewership, and that wouldn't make a very interesting guess the language show for people who already are familiar with most of the European languages, especially through watching all the shows on the channel. For the guess the language show to be interesting, I would need to get language samples from people who speak non-Indo-European languages, or like languages that are not easily recognized, because I believe there needs to be a bit of a challenge there. So polyglots, yeah. Tom, so you say that you think that polyglots do well with guess the language game, but it's also a problem, because if someone is a polyglot, I can't give them a language to guess, a language that they have studied before. So there is another this is an important factor if you speak multiple languages, and I need to collect samples for the guess the language challenge. I have to exclude a lot of languages, and it's becoming even more difficult to find a set of languages that are challenging enough for the participant. But yeah, I keep thinking about how to engage, how to involve the polyglots into the format. Okay, Katarina, I think it's a great how you manage to connect people through language with your challenges. Even if you may not understand everything right away, there are always similarities. Connecting people, yes. So that's why you support the spirit of community, and that's really nice. And that's also why I started the live stream, the weekly show, because it's not particularly, it doesn't generate lots of views really. If you look at the most recent episodes and compare them to my most popular videos, they are not that big of numbers, but it's all about community and getting to know each other and creating space for people to have fun with languages. And people who might not be able to participate in the main episode, in the episodes that I usually that I work harder on, they can just call in, and we can have they can still have an experience, and they can experience other languages without having to go through all the work behind the scenes, which is captioning and scheduling, because there's a lot of scheduling involved if you want to find the time slot that works for multiple different people based in different time zones. So sometimes from the moment I talk to a person in this one-on-one interview to the moment when we actually schedule the challenge, the recording of the challenge, it takes like 3 or 4 weeks, which is not ideal because people get excited, they want to be on the show, and then they get a cold shower. Oh no, it's not happening yet. It's not happening yet. And I hate doing that because I know that they are looking forward to it, but it's just people have different schedules, and it's sometimes very difficult to schedule things immediately. But I keep trying, and eventually things happen. That's how it works. Charto, you are writing to me. Let me read your comment. Why I am supporting you? First of all, I am hugely interested in languages, language learning, and how we humans communicate with each other. In my mind, your channel is the only platform which has the focus on creating a space for seeing how people can communicate even when not speaking the same language. I also like the high quality of your videos and the platform you give for smaller and minority languages. I am a polyglot myself, and I like that I learn something new in every new video and show. And I can imagine that it is a huge workload to create all the videos, and I like you to continue. Thank you, Charto. It's all true. It's all true. I think it's a very unique approach to languages, I think, that you can find on my channel. It's very unique, but it comes with certain challenges when it comes to being a YouTuber and having a YouTube channel, because YouTube runs on algorithms. And for me, at the so far, the only source of income from this channel was through Google ads that were displayed on videos, and those are not very predictable. So I keep working all month, let's say, and I'm not sure how much I'm going to get out of it. And I'm working on new videos, and I have no idea whether they're going to be popular or not. And the good thing is that I have, over the years, I have created a large library of videos that kind of get new views all the time. But the problem is it's unpredictable. So I never know if I'm going to be able to get paid, basically, for what I do. And why I am talking about this, because the views really matter in terms of making money on YouTube. I'm not focusing on that so much, because if I really wanted to make good money, I would be focusing on just the languages of the countries that have very robust economies, and the advertisers want to pay more money. But I don't want to do that, because that's not what this channel is about. It is it's about language diversity, and I don't want to exclude any country just because it's not the advertisers don't want to pay much money on videos displayed in that particular region. And it's especially relevant when it comes to war in the Russian war in Ukraine, because ever since the war started, the YouTube monetization was turned off in Russia. And basically, because like 30% of my viewership was from Russia, I'm not getting any money from like 30% of the views on the channel. So that really hit my monthly income, let's say. But it is what it is. I can't do anything about this, so I just keep going. And that was about the time, I think, that when I started the channel support, channel memberships, and most recently started the Patreon. Because I think Patreon is just another way that I know many people are familiar with. And they support people through that. But I'm still figuring out how to make it so you actually can get some value from supporting the channel. Because I know most of you have been supporting my work just because you like what I have already done, and you just keep supporting the idea and the channel, and you didn't really expect that much in return, even though there were some perks. They were not very regular. I have not been really publishing that much when it comes to extra content, extra clips for channel members, just because it became a thing in the sense that producing content for channel members would take my attention away from producing the main episodes that would appear on the channel, and yeah, it was a distraction basically, and I felt like I'm just producing something that doesn't really have any extra value that you would appreciate, but it would be taking away my attention from the episodes that I know everybody is going to enjoy. So things have changed a little bit because I also changed the workflow, how I work on projects. I wonder like if you enjoyed that. And the way it's changed is that I just publish the episodes that are basically cut and ready to publish, but with no captions. So you, as a channel member and a Patreon, you get a full episode without captions, but long before everybody else can see it. The reason of that is obviously like captioning takes the most time, and I think that you can still enjoy those videos even if you don't see the captions. Manticore says, exactly, the value of supporting the channel and Discord server is in the satisfaction of participating in such a great project, as Kay and Charto said before. Yeah, I mean, I get that the satisfaction is great, but I also think that I owe you something. Maybe you could let me know what you would enjoy the most. Maybe a Q&A session once a month, like that would be something that I could easily do. Hang out with you and answer all the questions. Maybe tell you what are the projects that I'm working on. Also, the episodes that I record and cut, and then they are basically ready, but without captions. Is that something that you would like to get? Because those are things that are very easy for me to make, and if you see any extra value in that, I'm very happy to provide it, because it's not going to take my attention away from working on the projects, because the files are already there on my drive, so I can just transfer them to Patreon or YouTube, and you can have a look at it before everybody else can. What else? Let me have a look at the comment from Ben. Ben says the views really matter. I have it from multiple sources that most channels within the top earning channels achieve such status only because of sponsorships, etc., etc. Yeah, so when it comes to earning from ads, Google ads on YouTube, it really depends what niche you're in. Like if you're in, I don't know, credit cards. No, I know it's a bad example, but if you're maybe in technology, if you're reviewing technology and stuff like that, you can make really serious money. But if you're in education, it's not that big, really, because just the conversion rates are not that high. You mentioned some sponsorships. I was considering sponsorships, and I'm still considering that. I don't know how I feel about it. How the community would feel about it. If you have any opinions, how would you feel if I had a sponsor and someone who would sponsor a video? I've been postponing it just because sponsors are a little bit like your bosses. They expect you to deliver a particular number of views, for example. And because my videos are a little bit unpredictable, I was a little bit afraid to approach any sponsors and ask them to sponsor a video or something like that, because I cannot guarantee that this particular video is going to do the same amount of views that some of my most popular ones, like Old Norse or Old English, or what else did well. Yeah, there are some Slavic languages. Well, I think every single language family on my channel has at least one video that reached like 1 million views, I think. But it's very unpredictable. I think that this initial the freshness effect has passed, because I was the first person that introduced this kind of format, the mutual intelligibility format, on YouTube. So I got some extra push from the algorithm because of that, because people had never seen this thing before. So every time when I started a new language series for a new language family, those videos were going viral. But I'm at the stage when I'm kind of trying to maintain the energy level on something like a stable level, I suppose. That's another issue that I'm thinking about. Should I keep making videos featuring languages from the language families that are already covered, or should I expand to new language families, or focus on a completely different format, like Guess the Language show? I'm just trying to find like a common denominator for all the subscribers that I already have, because that's also a problem when you have lots of different audiences combined together into one big subscription base. What I mean by that is that people who watch Germanic languages, they just want to see Germanic languages videos. People who speak one of the Romance languages, they just want to watch videos featuring Romance languages, and so on. So whenever I publish like a Slavic language video featuring Slavic languages, some of the subscribers are not going to click on it, and they're gonna be unsubscribing because they don't really like seeing those. They want me to focus more on their language family. So there's always this tension whenever I publish a new video. There are people who are unsubscribed because this is not what they signed up for. They thought I would be making more videos featuring Old English, for example. It's a good example because I am not an expert on Old English, and I had Simon on many times, and then I had another speaker who agreed to be on the show. But I don't want my channel to be about Old English just because it's just one of many languages that are featured. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Like, what's the best way what kind of content I could make that would be appealing to most of the subscribers. I'm trying to mix things up, and it's been working with various success. What do you think when it comes to formats like that? Should I keep making mutual intelligibility videos for Romance, Germanic, Slavic language families, or should I expand more and branch out into other language families that also experience this mutual intelligibility phenomenon? In game design, if you want to keep your player base while testing out something new, the recommended maximum is 10% innovation. Thank you, Ben. This is a very, very mathematical approach. I know the Pareto thing, 80-20. I'm trying to apply that in my life, but it's not that simple, especially when we talk about minority languages. They're not very popular. Let's say if I make a video featuring Arpitan or some of the regional languages of Italy, they may not really make that much. They might not generate as many views, but I think that's not what I would like to be focusing on. The views are important for, let's say, making money and making it sustainable, but for the project itself, I want to make videos that are not necessarily optimized for making money. Sometimes they just optimize for something else, like just giving letting people learn something about language that they've never heard about. Okay, Ben, you say that innovation is awesome. Yeah, I'm trying. Actually, you know what? When I think about it, the way I innovate on this channel is about 10%. Yeah. I keep doing the mutual intelligibility formats. I keep making those videos, and the 10% more or less is the other formats that I'm trying out, like the non-native speakers show or the live stream. Maybe it's kind of an innovation, but it's still within the mutual intelligibility format, I think. So it's not very innovative. It's just the live stream element of it. Charto, you say, I love the diversity of your content. I would like see more different language families, but it has to work for you. Yeah, it has to work for me, but it also has to work for all the subscribers, all the people who have been watching the show, because they are a very important part of it. Well, when you look at the number of subscribers that the Ecolinguist has, it's the number of active subscribers and inactive subscribers. So not all of those subscribers watch every single video that I publish. It's actually a very small percentage of it. Like these days, some people say the subscriber numbers don't really matter anymore on YouTube. It's more of a vanity thing. Because what really matters is who watches the video actually. So sometimes I make videos that non-subscribers watch more often than subscribers. So it's much more complicated than that. Tom says, yes, if a video has only smaller languages, it is more niche and it will be relatable to less people. So perhaps the best way to give smaller languages a stage is by combining them with larger ones. That's what I've been doing, actually. Yeah, I usually combine them with bigger languages, more popular ones. But not always. Yeah, sometimes I did have a number of speakers of minority languages that were just by themselves in a video. Like there was no representative of a bigger language. Because that's also interesting. I don't know. It's not always just the idea I have. Sometimes it's just what's available at the time or who is available at the time. Yeah, because sometimes I have a particular idea that I want to implement, but then I see someone volunteers that speaks a rare language. Then I contact them immediately and want to put them on the show, but then it's hard to find a suitable format for them or matching people who match their language skills, and it ends up becoming something completely different than the idea that I started with. So I think one of the aspects of the Ecolinguist channel that is a bit challenging is that it's not always up to me. It always comes down to people who are volunteering. So I just kind of play along depending on who shows up. So I don't really have full creative control over the channel. I have majority of it. I keep the majority of it, but and so I also take the whole responsibility for all the videos. But it's not always just up to me what video is going to be made. I don't know. I've covered quite a bit. I hope it's making sense. I don't want this stream to be too long for people to watch the replay. But what can I say? So before we end this stream, if you don't have any more questions, by the way, you can always write questions in the comment section. I will have a look later if you're watching a replay, and I will try to answer the questions you have. But I would like to give you a little bit like a sneak peek of what's going to happen within the next couple of months, because I am actually talking to someone behind the scenes to become a co-host for the Ecolinguist channel. So that's going to be an interesting twist. I haven't made this announcement to anyone yet, so you're the first people to hear about it. The co-host that would not only run some of the live streams, but also help with making more videos. So maybe we would be able to get to the point where we publish 3 or 4 videos a month, or with even with multiple streams. Like, yeah, the community would be benefiting from him joining as a co-host. Do we get to meet them soon? Ben is asking. We are working on it. We are working on the equipment part, because that's kind of important bit. He just doesn't have all the equipment that is required, because we tried different things, and it's just to be able to run a live stream, for example, you really need to have very strong computer with very high RAM, at least 16 gigabytes, I think. I mean, you could try with something less, but I've been trying to stream on weaker machines, and it just didn't work. It was not reliable at all, and this is so stressful when you are already running a show and then your computer starts making weird noises, and the fan is just going crazy, and you think it's going to blow up or everything freezes. Yeah, so having a powerful enough machine is important. Currently, I'm using Mac Mini with M1 chip, and it's been working amazing. Like, if you watch my streams, you see that how smooth it is, and I've been very happy with it. So yeah, we're trying to sort that out for the co-host, because it's a necessary thing. And also, I use this computer and this software to record all the videos, so that saves a lot of time, because what you see is basically what is recorded on the screen. In contrary to what it used to be when I started out the Ecolinguist channel and the mutual intelligibility format, we were recording stuff on Zoom, and then I had to put everything into people into those small boxes, create a layout and stuff like that. So editing would take way longer, and it also required much more power from my laptop. It was very unpleasant at times because it was too slow, or I would lose some of the editing because the computer crashed. And yeah, I'm very happy with the computer I have right now, and I would like the co-host to also have something like that, something reliable that he can just focus on creating videos and streaming. Yeah, that's exciting. I think that he's going to bring some fresh air into the channel, and that's going to be good. Everybody will benefit from it. Yeah, so that's the equipment I've mentioned. Yeah, if you're interested about the equipment I'm using, I'm very happy to talk about it maybe next month for the next Q&A session. Do let me know in the comment sections if you have any more questions that we would like me to answer. I could answer them also in the next Q&A session for the Ecolinguist Insiders, because you are the Ecolinguist Insiders, people who care about the project and want to know what's happening behind the scenes and how it's all done. Last question from Tom. Do you know the website Language Squad? That would be an easy way to challenge polyglots, I think. I was using Language Squad if in my live streams. We had some we had the Guess the Language show live version of that. I tried to say that before, but it seems message with URLs get filtered without telling the sender. Ah, okay, yes. So yes, Tom, I know the language squad, and it was good for the purpose, which was the live stream. During live stream, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be well researched. But I don't really like the fact I don't know what people are saying there. Sometimes they say some horrible things or some triggering things that we are not aware of. Um, so it worked fine for the live stream because it's live stream doesn't have to be that polished, you know. But for my Guess the Language show, all the samples were kind of handpicked. So I actually approached the people who were giving the samples, and we worked on the text that they would be saying. It's an extra step. It's an extra step, but it's it's organic. Let's say it's better quality. It's part of the show basically, like the message that we are sending through those samples, or just some fun things like if you actually happen to speak that language, you're going to hear something nice to you or something funny. It's not going to trigger you in some wrong way, because these shows, they're supposed to be fun and relaxing. It takes more time to make them, but I think it's worth it. The hamsters are spinning on full speed. Oh yeah, when editing, that's for sure. Okay, guys. So I think that would be a good time to end this Q&A session. Just so people who are going to be watching the replay, they don't have to watch it for too long. But I just wanted to, by organizing this session, I just wanted to let you know that I'm here for you. We can keep the conversation going. I'll do my best to answer all your comments and be more in touch with you, at least once a month through this Q&A session for Ecolinguist Insiders. Thank you again for your support, and see you around. Thank you very much.